everyone. This video is going to go over the annotation and how it all works. So I've got this the set list pulled up for June 28th. As we talked about and as we have seen in the intro video, you could hold down towards the middle or anywhere on the screen and the annotation bar pops up. And for me, it's on the bottom. On the very far right, to the right of the check mark, you have 3 gray lines. If you click and hold that, you can actually slide this bar around wherever you would like it. For most of you, it'll probably pop up at the top at first. I like it at the bottom because there's typically more space at the bottom, and so I'm going to have mine at the bottom for now. So let's talk about a few things here, working from left to right. So on the very far bottom left, you may not have this direct icon that's there, but if you double click it, this gives you all your musical symbols, okay? And so we've got sharps and flats and numbers and dynamics, articulations, many different kinds of things, as well as music notes and anything you may need. If you have the standard version, it's just going to be this first page. If you have the pro version, which means it's a yearly fee, you have all these pro stamps and everything else that's associated with that. But realistically, all you really need is the first page, because if it's not there, you can draw it in yourself. So a few things, let's talk about what this means. So for instance, I'm going to click on the flat sign and you see that mine is red. You can change these to any color you'd like. The color wheel is down in the bottom right of this little option. You click on that and you got a grid, or you have you can click over to the next tab. You see this, you can do a spectrum to select your color, or sliders if you have the exact hex or code or whatever you'd like to put in. For me, grids is just easier because it's faster. And so let's say I want to change that to blue. There's the quick option there, or you can select any color. I'm just going to go quick option blue, and you see it's already updated on the other side. This little slider icon to the bottom left, that's actually to change the size of the icon you're messing with. So for instance, I can make that icon bigger, and I'm going to throw it in right here so you see that, or I'm going to make it smaller, and I can go even smaller, which for me, I found 23 is actually pretty close, and it's easy for me to see, and it doesn't take over other music or anything along those lines as we're doing it. And by the way, you can do that for every single thing. I like making things that I miss frequently are, of course, key signatures, flats, sharps, naturals, things that we add in quite frequently. If I have to make a last minute change, I'll make it bigger. For instance, I played a gig where I had to take something down an octave, and so I made it bigger because it was a last minute change that we added in, and I just haven't changed the color back. But all of these, you have the option to either make smaller or larger, or change the color, okay? This, by the way, I'm sorry, this video is going to be a little bit longer. Now, all these other things are things that I've created essentially, and you can do that. These are all different markers, and if you double click one, there we go. You can change the size of the brush, the color, hue, saturation, brightness, transparency, and some of the transparency options great because you essentially create a highlighter, and that's what I've done here for this one, and for the red one as well. So it's a fantastic option. Now, if you don't want to highlight, you can have 0 transparency and color over, okay? Also, you have the option to do a white, and it looks like you erase it completely, which is a really nice option as well. But all those are fully customizable. You can add as many as you want, and how you add them is whenever you click on one, there's a duplicate button. I found that's the easiest to do. There is a scroll over option. There's a plus icon there, but if you have a lot like me, sometimes it's just easier to do that. So either the plus icon here, or just holding and duplicating. The next item you have next to that is a ruler, okay, and that ruler is right here. It's hard to see right now, but it allows you to draw straight lines, and it can be with 2 fingers, can be rotated, and it pops into certain preset degrees determined by the program, which are 90-degree angles, 45-degree angles, things along those lines. The next option, or two options over, excuse me, is a text option. I'm going to go to the backspace and erase some of these. So the text option, which has the letter and then like the insert icon, you can click and then it gives you the option to type. And you can change the font. Here's where you display, the second from the left is where you display the keyboard. That's where it says show keyboard. And it gives you the option to type whatever you would like to type. And some people's handwriting is sloppy and it's hard to read their own handwriting. So sometimes it might be better to do something like this. And so whenever you're done, you hit the check mark and it stays there. The circle on the far right, the circle on the far right, well, let's try this again. Gives you the option to either format it, you can delete it, or add multiple layers, and we'll talk about layers later. Once you click out of it, you can actually make the box, the text box, smaller or larger so it doesn't overlap. The one next to it is the eraser icon, so you can, if you make something along these lines, you can take your eraser and erase all of these lines out, which is nice, especially if you have tons of different annotations already on your document. The trash can, you have to be careful for the trash can because the trash can completely clears the document, which is, it's okay unless you have multiple things on there, multiple layers, and it gets kind of hectic. Then this is the undo button or the redo button. And then we have the layers on the far right. I hope this helped. This was a lot of information covered. And feel free to watch it back if you need to, okay? Oh, one thing, last thing. You see that this has a little hand icon with a slash through it. The reason it does is because I'm currently using my pencil. And if you're using an Apple Pencil and that hand is up, then your finger will not work on the screen, which makes it really nice. If your pencil, if that icon is up, the pencil is the only thing that will work, okay? So, again, then to turn it off, you actually can click the hand, and now my finger can actually erase everything as needed. Hope this helps. See you all later.